Thank you. Welcome. This is the Kentucky Public Pension Authority Executive Director Search Committee special meeting. It's November 16th, 2023. And the first thing is for me to call this meeting to order. Second on the agenda is the opening statement by Legal Services. Ms. Hale?
Yes, sir. For the record, I want to note that this is a special called meeting of the Executive Director Search Committee of the Kentucky Public Pensions Authority. This meeting is being held at the Kentucky Public Pensions Authority offices located at 1260 Louisville Road, Frankfort, Kentucky, and by video and telephonic conference, and is being broadcast to the public by Facebook pursuant to Kentucky Revised Statutes, Section 61.826. I ask if you are speaking and not appearing by video, please identify yourself before talking. In the event this meeting becomes disconnected from Facebook, we will attempt to reestablish a connection. If a connection cannot be reestablished within 30 minutes, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled to another date.
Thank you. Ms. Rankin, can you do roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. O'Mara?
Here.
Ms. Hampton?
Here.
Mr. Piercy?
Here.
And Ms. Pendergrass?
Here.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comment?
No, sir, no public comment.
Okay, next order is the approval of meeting minutes from our October 27th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. And a second? Thank you. And do we have any discussion, corrections, anything to talk about with presented minutes? Hearing none, I'll ask for vote yes to approve.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So now we go into the reason for the called meeting, and that's the executive director search. And I first want to just thank all the staff that have been working diligently on what we're going to go over here today, especially in human resources and the media, communications, as well as Lynn, who has helped with this too. We're going to go through this in an order of short to long. We came up with some space restrictions for the paid print ad with pensions and investments. So we came up with what we call the short ad, which is there before you. Short, sweet, it's just to get someone's attention to know that the meeting is available. The opening is available, and then refer them on how to get more information. So it says KPPA, which manages $24 billion in assets with over 250 employees who serve over 421,000 members and beneficiaries, is seeking an executive director to replace its current executive director who has announced his retirement. Detailed information about this opportunity can be found at, and we'll have a link. Interested parties should contact Lori Casey at her address. And that would appear in the Pension and Investment print magazine. We're talking about in December. And it would refer them to more information that's available. Comments? Yes,
So
Betty.
the link that we're going to put in there instead of KYRET, is that, Lori, is that going to link them to that state website that you talked about to collect applications?
So that's gonna, what we had talked about was that's gonna link them to the bigger brochure that communications put together for us, which will give them more information, more detailed information about the job, about the systems, and about Kentucky as in general.
And we'll show that in just a moment.
Right. And then how do they get to that link that you talked about, the state's personnel?
So what we had discussed, and it's up for discussion, is to have them contact me, and then I can answer, any questions that they have, and then I will send them the link directly to that site.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's go to what we're calling the longer ad. Thank you. And this is would be posted in other publications that don't have a limit, as well as online with pension and investments. It goes into much more detail about the position, states the range of compensation, what we're looking for, that type of thing. Again, it's supposed to get people's interest, let them know a little bit about the position, and then refer them to Lori in order, or actually the pamphlet, and then to Lori if they want to apply. Can you make that just a little larger, Sherry?
And I do have one correction. So the ad for pension and investments, they'll just do one ad. So if it's the short ad, it'll be the short ad both places, but it will have an active link on their website to the brochure.
Right. But and we have a list at the end of all the different places we're talking about posting this ad, where they do not have a limit on how long it can be. So I don't know if you all have had a chance to read over this, but it's a little more embellished. We talk about some of the positives that are going on in the system. We talk about what we're looking for, keywords, collaborative, positive relationships with key legislators, governor's office, boards, and be the spokesperson. We want somebody that has worked in state or municipal retirement systems if possible, in a political environment, leadership skills, that type of thing. Any questions on this ad? All right. So then the next is what we've called the brochure or the pamphlet. And I'm just real proud of the product that has been developed here. I think it's very professional. It walks through what was in that longer ad, as well as a little more embellishment on top of that. It has a little sales job for why you should be in Kentucky, and the opportunities to not only live in Frankfort, but the Louisville or Lexington area. Talks about ideal candidate and qualifications, that type of thing. Excuse me for the interruption. The one thing that, go ahead.
On page 9, where we talk about the ideal candidate and the qualifications,
Yes.
is there a way to add a few words that emphasize the public pension? On the long ad, we had a phrase, experience working in a state and or municipal retirement system. I don't know whether we could, I mean, we have organization of similar scale and complexity, but we don't specifically reference public pension plans. And then down in qualifications, either place, I just think it's important to communicate our that the public pension plan experience is important to us.
Well, can I suggest that we add that and say preferred? Because under qualifications, we said financial experience in a complex financial environment. So they may work in actuary or banking investments rather than actual pension plan, and they still may want to apply.
Yes, that would be a good place to put it, because that focuses on experience, which is a little more important than familiarity.
So we're talking about up in the preferred, the ideal candidate, talking about experience in the pension plans is preferred. Is that a term that's acceptable?
Yes, for me.
I like it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any other suggestions or questions or clarifications? Well, Dave had one, and I think that it's probably a good one. We put the expected compensation in the long ad. We forgot all about putting it in the pamphlet. And so I thought that somewhere we ought to get those phrases in here into the brochure. I say pamphlet, I mean brochure.
How about under qualifications at the very end? After that paragraph that starts to be considered?
Underneath graduate of college,
Yeah,
bachelor's degree.
yeah, make it the very last paragraph on that page. Because then that would match up our compensation goals with their qualifications. And one of their qualifications is going to be how much we're going to pay them. So kind of.
I think putting it somewhere is an advantage.
Definitely.
So that we're not going through those hoops with you, Lori, on the phone, even though welcome for them to make comments. I'm not saying that, but. Any other ideas? Okay, great. Well, then to the next section, I wanted to remind everybody where all we're actually going to be putting this out into the public eye. It's a pretty good cross-section on a national basis. The GFOA, ICMA, LinkedIn, NAPA, NASRA, NCPERS, in addition to the pension and investment. So I feel like we're getting good exposure, whether it's short ad, long ad. Then we're giving them information to answer many of their first questions with the brochure, and then hopefully, with their interest, they will call Lori, and Lori then can direct them to the application process through the state. So that's kind of the idea we had to go forward. We're on a run here.
Yeah.
I've got a question on page 11. That's the page that starts out about KPPA. And then that first section is fully funded by 2049. The link there takes them to the summary annual financial report, which is what we have at this particular point in time. I know that we're kind of in transit on the final actuarial report because we're making some changes. Will we have a final actuarial report where we could link them to that information?
Well, I don't know that we talked about the actuarial report. We did talk about we would update these links once our 2023 financials were final.
Right. The summary annual financial report does provide some key information, but if we have a candidate who's willing to dig into the details, it might be nice to direct them to the actuarial evaluations if the 2023 evaluation is going to be available for us to link.
And
Betty,
does anybody know that date that we're shooting for? Is that the first week of December?
You know, Betty, I really think the opposite on that particular thing. There might be a few people that were interested in
Right.
that, but I would think the majority, sending them to the summary, they're going to get more than just the actuary. They're going to get a lot of other good material. So
Well,
that's.
but we've got that link down at the bottom under annual reports.
Well,
Ms.
s-
Pendergrass, I asked the same question and was about all the links and was informed that as the new materials come out, like, so if this is released by a certain date and we don't have the new materials and we link to the old materials or what we have, that when the new materials come out, that it will be updated to link to the new materials so that the links in them will constantly be updated to what we have.
Well, but my question is whether or not we link them to the actuarial valuation or to the summary annual financial report.
Betty, I still feel the summary annual financial report is a better document for the interview process, even though the link is in there twice.
I would suspect if somebody passes the first hurdle and gets an invitation to be interviewed, I would expect then they would start drilling down before that interview.
Mhm.
and Lori, you could be well prepared for when someone contacts you to either lead them there if they ask or offer it to them if that's our approach.
Right. No, I agree with that.
What do you think, Betty?
It's a compromise.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we're reaching the end of our meeting. We've gone through the requirements for the different types of national postings that we're going to do. We've developed these informational pieces at a different level depending on what. But they're hooks. They're saying, "Hey, we've got this opening. Go here and get more information." And we keep giving more information as we go along, hoping that they will apply by contacting Lori. So the final part is kind of timing. So I wanted to propose this, that we would do this starting December 1st, have ads run throughout December and January, would have a print ad in the middle of December through the 15th of January. So that's a 16-week window. It does overlap Christmas holidays when lots of people are concentrating on family, but it's time before that and after that to become interested or express interest. Then we would react to the level of response that we received and talk as a group on how to go forward with processing those people that have an interest. Does that sound all right to everyone?
Bill, I'm going to add, if you
Yes.
would, the reason we decided not to really outline the process is we don't know how many people will be applying. If it's a lot, we'll have a different process than if it's a few.
Correct. And the more the merrier. However, that requires a lot more administrative and approach to how to process the many. If we have over 100 applicants, we don't know with this type of approach.
And the other thing I was going to add is that we did review and confirm that we're not going to use a search firm.
I think that was pretty much decided with the entire board.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So we're not recommending anything different than what's already been directed toward us. So Keith and Betty, your reaction, are you satisfied with this approach and these materials?
I think it's a very professional package. I like all of it.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, we took a vote on not using a search firm at the full board. So
Yeah.
that vote still stands unless we take a different one. The one question I would ask, and I know we chose the $3,351 option for the pension and investments. These two other things that are on the spreadsheet, GFOA and ICMA, which of those rates are we going to end up paying? There's multiple choices on those. I don't know what we're members of and what we're not.
I think
Uh,
we're already members of GFOA,
That's right.
so we don't have an additional fee to pay there.
And I don't think we're a member of ICMA.
Yeah, we wouldn't need to be. So that will be the
It'd be-
600.
The 600, okay. Good question.
So for GFOA, we have to pay the 150.
Right. Yes.
Okay. And so I add another 750. So we're a little over $4,000 in advertising costs.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think Lori has contacted when publication deadlines are and that type of thing. And I think you feel the December 1 start date is doable. Is that correct, Lori?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I've been in touch with Thomas at Pensions and Investments, and as long as we get the ad to him by the 1st, they can put it in their December 11th publication.
So question, Keith, are we ready to rock and roll, or do we need to go back to the full board?
We discussed this at the last meeting, I think, Vicky. Didn't we decide we could actually do this and then the full board could ratify it at a later point?
So they've delegated this. So if this committee wants to vote to approve the ads in the brochure and to move ahead with the December 1st deadline, then we can go ahead and then put it on the next full board for just ratification.
Well, I would ask for a motion to approve these advertising platforms, the materials as presented, and a December 1 through January 15th application period, if anyone would so move.
I'll move with the minor modification that we made in the brochure.
Second.
All right, a first and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, passed. We've done really good work. Again, I want to compliment all the support that we've had in very short timeframes. So it's really been a great effort, and really proud of everything that's been accomplished. So want to thank Lori and all the staff that have worked on this, support staff, communications, everyone.
And Keith, I want to compliment you on picking a good chair.
Yes. Well, I appreciate him stepping up.
All right. Well, special meeting we've gone over. Oh, let's see. So let's not come up with a next meeting until we have some data points as to what is needed, and see how that response goes. Then we might call a meeting based on that information.
Do we have a deadline for the applications?
January 15th is what
Okay.
proposed, yes. So that's a 6 weeks window before and after holidays. All right, no more business. Do I declare adjourned, or do we have a motion? What, I forget.
You can
For special
declare
meeting.
it adjourned.
You can just declare it adjourned.
Okay, I declare it adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thanks.